Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face. I'm Chris Rucker along with my co-host E.J. Reed, and we are here on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. Please hit the sub button, like it, subscribe, share, the whole nine, as we join you to talk about our favorite pastime, the sport of professional wrestling. How you doing today, EJ?
Just another Tuesday. This will be coming out on a Wednesday, though. Other than that, I can't complain. How you doing, man?
Fantastically well. Close to spectacular.
It's good to hear. It's good to hear. You're about halfway into your workout, 75 days.
No, I'm actually more than halfway done.
A warrior, for real.
Let's see. Yeah, I got to close out today's my last workout. I am 41 days in, so I got 34 days left. And I'm down a whopping 17 pounds.
Damn. That's what's up. So,
but I kind of cheated because I weighed in to begin with right after I got back from WrestleMania. So, like 5 pounds of that was probably whiskey and bullshit.
Hey, 17 pounds is 17 pounds. That's fantastic.
Yeah. You know what I've missed more than anything?
What's that?
Just like an ice cold Coke Zero with a little whiskey in it. Not the actual whiskey, but just like the... I hadn't thought about a drink in I don't know how long. And then other day I got back from work and I was like, oh, I could use a drink. But it is what it is. Only 34 days before I can actually partake. The working out part has gotten easier. I'm sore, but I just fucking wake up and go do it now. Like it's a. This morning I forgot to set my alarm and I still woke up before 5 o'clock to go to the gym.
That's what's up. Muscle memory. You know, now you're swinging things. Can you drink Coke Zero without the whiskey?
I can, but one of the things that I know that I was putting bad in my body was all the soda that I was drinking when I would drink. So I was like, well, if I'm not gonna... I never really liked soda. Like, soda wasn't a thing that I would always drink until I started drinking. Like, I drank juice and shit like that, but soda was never it was only to mix alcohol with.
Yeah, the rare times I do have sodas with alcohol, I don't really do that nowadays. Usually I'm drinking dark. I'm usually drinking it on the rocks and neat. Guess that's a sign of alcoholism, maybe.
No, that's trying to be healthy, I guess. Like, if I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna drink it straight, and I can't do that though. I like enjoying what I'm drinking, which, you know, clearly is bad for you because there's so many sugars and other chemicals and shit. So that is gonna be one thing, is, you know, the drinking's gonna come down a lot once this is over with. But I'm doing it well so far. I'm surprised I've gotten it. I'm not surprised I've gotten this far. I'm surprised I've gotten this far and it hasn't felt like torture. I knew I was going to finish it when I started it. I was like, all right, I'm starting it. I'm going to get done. But I thought by day 42, I'd be like, God damn, when's this shit over with? But it's just another day.
Yeah, I'm doing this 6-week shred program. I did it last year too, around this time, you know, just getting ready for the summer. And my diet routine, I'm not doing like a strict keto but I pretty much cut out like all the carbs, doing some fruit, but like after a while, you just don't notice that you're not really eating any bread or anything like that.
I did keto a couple years ago, and I lost like 15 pounds the first month. But as soon as I like came off of keto, I just gained it all back because it was like I didn't do it long enough to get rid of the craving of like the bread and the carbs and shit like that. But excuse me, I think a low carb thing is probably what I'll try to stay on when this is over with. Low carb, watching my calories at least for like another few months. So the thing I'm doing is called 75 hard, and then there's different phases after that if you want to like keep going with your fitness, because obviously this is to like slap you in the shape, not in the shape, but like to change how you're eating and working out and shit like that. So what you do is you take a break and then you basically do like a 30 hard where you go 30 days without drinking and working out twice a day, and then they keep adding to it so it's more physical, like shit like that. So I think I might keep going with this little program after this is over, because who knew drinking less and eating healthy and working out all the time was the fucking key to losing weight at my age.
Who would have knew? But yeah, man, it's a good thing. Eating better and getting into shape, you know, look at things in the long term. But besides your new workout regimen, not a whole lot going outside of the world of wrestling, but besides your Knicks getting eliminated last weekend.
And my coach got fired today.
For the Vegas?
No, Knicks.
Thibodeau got fired?
Yeah. I'm sorry, he didn't get fired. They R-truthed him. They said they weren't going to renew his contract.
I didn't see that. Usually I get all like the ESPN notifications. That's crazy.
It just happened today, like a couple hours ago.
Well, yeah. I was kind of busy closing out work. I mean, this guy, he has a track record. He'll get you right in the regular season, but for some reason he can't get over the postseason hump. And I heard he's a little bit prickly behind the scenes as far as his, his theories and routines and regimens. Like I heard he likes to work the players hard and practices and whatnot.
I mean, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They were within 2 games of going to the championship round. So, and they seem to be getting better every year. Like the first year they made it out the first round, lost in the second round. Actually, I think they lost in the first round to, who was it, Miami 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. And then last year they got to the second round and lost to Indiana, which they should have won that. They were up 3-2 and then lost 2 games in a row. And then this year they get to the conference finals. Like, I'd at least let him come back one more year to see if he can get to the finals.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. If you poke the people behind the scenes the wrong way, you're not going to last. And also, I mean, I don't agree with the professional sports in general having that quick trigger finger and firing these head coaches, but we seen like with the Nuggets coach, you can win a championship or you'll be gone the next year. That's
right.
That's crazy to me. But
I mean, shit, the Eagles coach a couple years ago, he got them the first championship in the history of their franchise, and he was out of there in 2 years.
Yeah, Doug Peterson.
Yeah. He was like, I got a fucking statue right next to Rocky, and you're firing me? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so you're right. The hook is quick for these coaches in pro sports. But I was looking at stats today, and Tips, I didn't realize he was that good of a Knicks. Like, he did better than fucking Phil Jackson did.
Yeah.
When he was coaching the Knicks. Or technically, I guess. Was Phil coaching the Knicks? I can't remember.
Nah,
he did coaching for us.
Nah, he was never the coach. He was like the president of basketball operations. I think it was D'Antoni that was the coach at that time.
Yeah. I remember we wanted Phil to coach. I couldn't.
Yeah.
The last 20 years of Knicks basketball all kind of runs together with bullshit. But yeah,
he was kind of.
He was like.
I was about to say Phil was kind of hedging his bets. He's like, I want to be in charge. I don't want to get the blame and get fired as a coach if I fuck up.
Yeah, he did right. That would have fucked his. That would have fucked his legacy of coaching them sorry ass Knicks teams back then. But fucking Thibodeau was in 400 games. He was like 26 games over 500. Went to the playoffs 3 or 4 times. He had a decent playoff record. They just couldn't go all the way. But I mean, like I said, I don't keep up with the NBA as much as I used to. But just watching some of these games, man, it's like all these players that some of them I don't even fucking know, but everybody can shoot. Like, and I just felt like the Knicks don't have enough shooters. They're more of an old school basketball team. Like, they want to slow you down, and everybody else wants to run. So many times they would get a bucket, and Indiana with just 2 passes, and they're getting a wide open layup on the other end. And it's like, hey, we just bled the shot clock down to 4 seconds left to get a jump shot, and with 20 seconds left on the shot clock, they already laying it up on the other end. It's like they're a little too old school. So maybe Tibbs going and getting a younger coach in there is the way to go.
Yeah, that might be the way to go. Like I said, I think the age of hanging on with coaches is dead. I think the last we've seen of that in like the modern era is like a Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh? No, yeah, Jim Harbaugh is the coach for the Chargers now. I'm referring to when he was with Michigan. He didn't win a championship at Michigan until like his 9th season. He had like a long rope, but I don't think we'll see that again as far as coaching on the college level or the pro level. Like, you out of here. These boosters ain't playing on the college level, and then
they ain't got time.
Yeah, and then these figureheads on the pro level, they want, a rapid result. So it is what it is, I guess. But
I tell you what, if I was an NBA coach, I would look at everybody on my team, and if you shot less than 85% from the free throw line, when you come back from summer, that shit better be up, or your ass ain't playing.
So
there's no excuse for fucking NBA players to be shooting 60% from the foul line.
Hey, that's good in theory, but I ain't benching Shaq. His hand's too big to shoot free throws.
Okay, well then guess what, Shaq? Instead of you out partying and fucking getting drunk all the time and getting fat, maybe you should spend a couple days at the foul line over the summer. Like, it ain't nothing but repetition. That's just a clear sign that you're not practicing.
Yeah, you have a point with Laker Shaq, but I heard Magic Shaq, he was actually trying. He just, motherfucker just couldn't shoot free throws for some reason. Like, he was practicing.
Too big. I'm trying, Chuck. Y'all know we got to go to ESPN and we can leave in TNT, and I'm trying. I'm doing the best I can.
But as far as these new age players, you're right. It's positionless basketball. Everybody shooting threes. You got tied in with wrestling. We got the heel on the Pacers, Halliburton, Triple H out there going to see games and whatnot. He's embracing the heel, and he's a wrestling fan. So here it is.
Fuck Triple H.
And Halliburton.
I don't like the Pacers. I never have. I haven't liked the Pacers since I was a kid when Reggie Miller was there. And then they kind of like Halliburton rushing out there to try to do the choke symbol. That was just annoying. Like, Halliburton's good, but they're just annoying. Like, we get it. You're a small market team. You never won anything. It's us against the world. Like, shut the fuck up already. Like, nobody cares. Okay. There's more people tuning in to fucking NXT tonight than watching the NBA Finals.
Hey,
that's a lie, but
two
you get my point.
2 small market teams, OKC, Indiana. So we'll see how the ratings come back, and if they don't come back decent, then we know the refs gonna be rigging games next year.
They're gonna come back like AEW ratings. Like, we had 3.4 million tune in live, but now that the app is updated, it's like an extra 6.7 million.
Hey.
After the 24-hour mark, people watching on delay and shit on Max.
Hey, they are. That's a good tie-in because they are on Max. Oh no, that was the TNT. TNT ain't doing the finals, but I get your point.
I have Max and I couldn't even watch it. They wanted me to upgrade even more.
Really?
Yeah, I got regular Max, and it's like, oh yeah, you can watch live basketball, but you got to upgrade to a different tier. There's like 4 tiers on this shit. This shit's getting out of control.
Yeah, I did the math because I finally got Netflix because I was just getting annoyed by the size of using it. So I did the math, and everything I'm paying for comes out to just as much as cable used to be. It's like $60 a month, and that's not including Max because I still got to hook up with Max, and then Peacock. I got to hook up with Peacock. That's not including those two. So including Netflix. What's the other one? Prime. Shit. It's in the Disney bundle with Hulu, Disney, and ESPN Plus, and then my IPTV service, which is the cheapest out of all of them. It's only like $11. It still comes out to $60 a month. It's like, this is what we pay for cable. Like, what's the point? We gotta pay for all these.
Like
shit
you said,
separate.
you're not even paying for all of. I got Peacock, which comes with my internet, so my Peacock is free. I think Max comes with my cell phone, and then my Amazon Prime. Sure, I'm still using my ex-wife's. So
nice.
She ever changes the password, I'm fucked. I ain't gonna never finish this season of Chuck.
Goodbye, Reacher.
Yeah, right. But I think the only thing I pay for is Netflix, and every now and then something will come out. Like the new Dexter's supposed to be coming out, so I think I might have to, if I can't find it somewhere, I might have to pay for Paramount Plus to watch that. And then, you buy like some new headphones or any Apple product, you get like Apple TV for free, and you binge whatever you want on there. But yeah, it's like you got to pay for internet though. Are you adding internet in your pricing?
Nah, I'm not even including internet. I need to.
Yeah, because you can't watch any of that shit without the internet.
I need.
So,
man, it's funny that you brought it up because I'm about to leave my internet company because they raised the price after like a year, and for some reason I just let that slide on the radar. But I'm switching that up, get that cut in half.
Oh yeah, they'll do that. They won't tell you shit either. When your little promo's up, they jack that price up without. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah. So.
Oh, your promo's over with. You got that when you moved in. That was a 12-month option. This is the 13th month. You owe us $4,783.
Yeah, so that's something that needs to be addressed. But yeah, including that, puts you over $100-something per month. So it's crazy, man. Like
talking all these bills, what we can't afford to do anymore? Go see WWE shows.
I feel like it's a recurring topic every week, but it's true.
Well, it's a recurring topic because the topic of money is all that gets talked about with WWE. Like, they just, didn't renew the contract of a few wrestlers. And I'm hearing, all the quote-unquote experts and the former wrestlers and shit. Like, oh, well, such and such wasn't worth the money they were getting, and it doesn't make sense to be paying them on a wrestler contract. I ain't trying to hear that shit. If I like R-Truth, right, and I pay your fucking $400 to sit in the 100 section, and you tell me that one of the guys I like ain't worth it, shouldn't I be the one making that decision? Now, I know that's not how life works, but like, just the matter-of-fact expert opinions that I've been listening to since the R-Truth news came out is just crazy to me. Like, don't tell me it's a budget cut when all I ever hear Triple H talk about is we broke records with how much money we made at this event. And the first quarter of the fiscal year, we broke records doing this, that, and the third. And then I look at tickets, and it's like a day's worth of work for me just to go get a fucking WWE ticket, not even like on the floor in the front row. And you telling me you can't afford to pay the wrestlers? Fuck out of here. The merch has gone up like almost $20 per t-shirt now. Those shirts used to be $19.99. They're like damn near $40 now before taxes and fees. The belts. I just sold my Rock belt for something on eBay. I bought that thing on sale when it first came out for $329. The same fucking belt. They haven't improved anything, EJ. $600 right now.
That's crazy work right there. I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead. I'm done. I was just gonna say, like, everything they do is about money, and then this is a small nitpick about somebody that I normally don't like, but I actually, when we talk about later, I'm gonna give some positivity to. But CM Punk's promo last night, he slid the little, yeah, it's still all about the money in his promo, and I'm just like, is that really what you want to say? Like they're basically just playing in our face. Like, yeah, we're fucking y'all out of your money. Like, we're not giving you good shows anymore. Like, we're done with that shit. We just rolling the fuck whoever we on out here. Oh, you want to pay for Money in the Bank? Sure. Here's fucking Andrade and Chad Gable in a mask. Like, you don't need CM Punk or Roman Reigns or Cody or anybody like that. Here's fucking Penta. That's fine. We'll put Seth Rollins in there. You'll be fine.
Hey, the same thing is kind of happening with the UFC right now and TKO, and they have these fight night cards every weekend. They have them in the Apex, the small little. They had an NXT show in the Apex actually once last year, but small shows, and they'll just put people that probably should be on the regional scene and like, here, just watch this. We don't care the quality of fighter, just watch this. And a lot of no-name fighters in the roster is bloated. It probably have over like 1,000 people on the roster. Half you don't know, and half will get cut after just having one fight in there, just to fill out these cards to fulfill the ESPN contract deal. And it seems like the WWE's kind of taking that formula as well. As like you said, you got, no disrespect to Chad Gable, America El Grande, or whatever his name is, and Andrade, but like people are paying to come see Roman and Punk, like you said.
Right.
I don't know, man. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I don't know, this formula or method, the bubble has to burst eventually because people are gonna want to pay for quality. They're like, we're not gonna come just to see any people just fight or just wrestle.
I mean, it honestly feels like they're not even trying. Like, you got Karrion Kross running around telling people you're actually a bad person. You're being too good, right? Cool, that's his gimmick. And then what do I see like 5 minutes later? I see Gunther sit down with Jay. You're being too nice. Like, you got too many friends. You can't be a world champion like that. I'm like, didn't I just see this fucking promo with 2 other people? Like, are y'all not doing quality control?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Triple H
Never see that shit in AEW.
I thought Triple H was supposed to be a creative genius, and it seems like he blew his load in like the first year or so. But going back to your point, as far as like the money side of things and letting people go, I'm for the most part people have had truths back, but like you said, it's a few talking heads. I don't even know if they know what they're talking about, but they talk about like the overhead they had to cut him because his budget was so big. How do y'all know? Like you said, Triple H says how many records they break every year and every show, so they have money. But what I want to ask you is, people, there's another like conversation that happened, is that they're like, it's not Triple H's call, and then some people are like, Triple H knows like the personnel that he wants, so he probably did whisper in the air that this is the person to cut. So you think Triple H had any doing with Truth's contract not being renewed? Because I heard he didn't get cut. They're just not renewing his contract. Same with Carlito.
Here's the thing about Triple H. For whatever reason, everybody just forgot how big of an asshole this guy was when he was a wrestler. That's all you heard about backstage, was how big of an asshole he was. Like, I've told the story on here before. Him and The Rock don't like each other because Triple H and HBK tried bullying The Rock when he got there. And they used to do that to a lot of people. And that's how DX formed. So to think that, well, he's older now. No, he's still a dick. So if y'all don't think, you can't come out and cut the promo that he did. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. When The Rock came back, Triple H went in the ring and was like, I call all the shots, and people back there might not like it, but it doesn't matter what they like. Like, cut that promo. But then when shit starts getting ugly and people start getting mad, hey man, that's TKO. Now, you know, them niggas got way more power than I do. I can't do that. My hands are tied. No, dog. It don't work like that. You can't take all the credit when it's going good. And then when people are unhappy, you're like, well, I mean, you know, I ain't really the boss. I'm just like, I'm middle management. You know? I'm assistant pimp.
Money Mike. Oh no.
Yeah.
What was Mike Epps? How high? Yeah. Give me that powder.
My daddy's been pimping since been pimping.
Your family been assistant pimps. What a forgotten gem how high was, but
Man, that was such a good movie. I watched that movie at least 100 times in my life.
Yeah, me and my boy Michael watched that like 20 times this summer, like 2001.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That and the movie Life, I feel like came out around the same time, and me and all my friends are watching those. Like anytime we could get like 2 hours just chill. What y'all want to do? Oh shit, let's watch Life. Let's watch How High.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
Motherfucker,
Hey, my cornbread.
That's such a good movie too. So many quotes out of that. But back to Triple H. Yeah, I just like I said, you can't take the credit when things are going good and then pass the blame. Like right now, how everybody's blaming The Rock for WrestleMania. He wasn't fucking there. How how's a guy not being there that you didn't want there the previous year, and everybody said he tried to ruin it. So this time he backed out, and now everybody's like, it only sucked because The Rock was there. Like if he wouldn't have got involved talking about wanting Cody's soul and turning Cena heel, huh? You telling me the greatest of all time, John Cena, and everybody's favorite son right now, Cody, can't put on a main event match without The Rock in it and it not suck?
Yeah, I mean, hypocrisy at its finest. Like you said, people were griping in WrestleMania 40. Oh, we want Cody. And now that he decided his schedule, or he didn't even probably decide it, his schedule just couldn't open himself up. Now it's his fault that the creative suck? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Right. And again, I feel like Triple H is just skating on by. Like, they're like, oh yeah, well, and I listen to, podcasts and radio shows, and people be like, it all kind of started back when The Rock put the Ula follow on Roman. Well, guess what? That never would have happened if y'all just would have shut the fuck up and let Rock and Roman wrestle last year.
Yeah.
As Lance Storm used to say, to paraphrase him, don't blame The Rock, blame yourself.
I didn't know Lance Storm said that. That's what's up.
He used to say, don't blame Canada, blame yourselves. That's what I said on paraphrase. Lance Storm used to be a G2 in WCW before he came to WWE when they said he was born. He was dope in WCW. He won the U.S. title, the Cruiserweight title, the Hardcore title. I think he had like 4 belts at one time, and he was putting Canadian flags on all of them.
Yeah, I remember him with the U.S. title, putting the Canadian flag over it. But for some reason, a lot of my Lance Storm early memories, I remember his WCW stint, but it was like the ECW stint with him and Just Incredible, the Impact players. I thought I used to think that was dope because I had the video game with them too, the first one. But yeah, Lance Storm, underrated. Got that Canada gimmick over everywhere he went.
Something about a guy being a southpaw too in wrestling, like throwing punches with his left hand, just looks like, I think that motherfucker fighting for real.
Man,
he looked like he really hit somebody.
You pay attention to detail more than me. Like, I hadn't even noticed that as far as like the stance with wrestlers. Then Bret Hart throw lefts.
No, he threw rights. What did he do? He did the sharpshooter with his left hand.
Oh, okay.
It was somebody that threw left hand shots though. I'm trying to think of who it was. Anyway, it'll come to me like the middle of the night on Thursday or something like that. I'll wake up and be like, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Wake up, Macho Man. Wake up from a cold sweat. It's Macho Man. But
Macho Man has some good punches too.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. It makes me pissed off that Hulk Hogan gets like all the credit from that time period where Macho Man was super over too and could actually wrestle, and I feel like some people kind of brush him under the rug sometimes.
Yeah, and Hogan always took the belt from Macho Man too whenever he got it in WWE and WCW.
For some reason, I can't think of pre-NWO Macho Man reigns.
I take that back. Who took the belt from Macho Man in WWF? Was it Hogan?
Yeah, it was. He took it at WrestleMania 5. He took it at WrestleMania.
Yeah, he took it. You got lust in your eyes, Hogan.
Exactly.
That was such a good heel turn, watching Macho Man beat the dog shit out of Hogan backstage. Just
exactly.
But so he won the belt. He had a brief run with it before NWO.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, when they used to drive monster trucks and shit.
I want to think Flair took it from him.
Okay, that makes sense.
But then both times he won it around NWO time, Hogan took it like the next fucking night. Like,
yeah,
it's like he would win it on the pay per view and Hogan would take it that Monday. And it's just like, this fucking guy.
I Am Macho Man had like an underrated run post NWO when he was with like Gorgeous George and was it Medusa in the Clique. He was slapping.
He came back all fucking buff.
Yeah, he's slapping women backstage, and he slapped Tori Wilson backstage. That's wild work.
He may have.
Yeah,
he was. He was crazy then.
He was juiced out of his gills, yoked up, smashing women 20 years younger than him.
Yeah, Gorgeous George, Medusa, Molly Holly, Team Madness.
Yeah, that was Molly Holly, wasn't it? She had the crown on, didn't she?
Yeah, she had like an evening gown on. She come out there doing fucking 450 splashes in an evening gown with no shoes. So I'm like, who is this motherfucker?
That was wild. Hey, like Vince Russo, WCW has some hitting gems here and there, even though it was a mess overall.
Yeah, I think WCW gets a bad rap for like. They had some stupid booking, but they had some good shit, like, looking back. Like, I used to love the Filthy Animals.
Oh, yeah.
With fucking Rey Mysterio with no mask, and K-Dog, and Kidman, and all them.
They brought the No Limit Soldiers in.
Yeah, like, they used to have some good shit. Now, they had some stupid shit. But they had some good shit going on, too.
Judy Bagwell on the pole was part of the stupid shit.
The Mamalukes.
I used to like that theme music. It was a rip off of The Godfather.
Yeah,
I didn't mind that for some reason.
Matter of fact, Big Vito, I saw on Twitter the other day, he tagged Triple H and he like, your boy Stax is ripping my shit off and then talking shit about me on TV. Like, what's up? Y'all calling me and asking me about like what he could do to make his character better, and then you turn around and start talking shit about me on TV. I was like, damn. Big Vito, Triple H.
Stack said something about Vito.
That's what Big Vito said. He said, y'all mocking me on TV, but then you have agents calling me asking me like how to make the character better and what to do and this, that, and the third, and I'm ready to come down and like show y'all, and then I get the silent treatment. Y'all start talking shit about me on TV. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, damn. Big Vito said, I'm Italian. I don't play that shit.
Yeah. We gotta check these dudes' cards to see if they even Italian as far as Tony D and
that's basically what he was saying. That boy Fugazi.
Yeah, shout out to Big Vito and Mama Luke's, all those guys.
Yeah. All right, speaking of we were talking about Vince Russo and he gets blamed for ruining WCW, him and Eric Bischoff, which is a good segue because I want to talk about TKO. And how I think they're ruining professional wrestling. Slowly but surely.
I mean, so we've talked about the money side of things. Of course, they're pricing people out. But besides the money side of things, how do you see them ruining wrestling?
Well, for example, this past week, Carlito, R-Truth, Sarah Logan I saw got let go. And probably some other people. And these are mid-card acts that, you know, there's only so much TV time to go around, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're running house shows, these are the ones that carry the house shows. These are the people that, you know, you get reps and they make the fan experience better. So what does TKO do? Not only are we getting rid of these wrestlers, we're going to get rid of the house shows too. So what happens? Now, instead of 6 times WWE coming through Atlanta, they come once a year. Ticket price is high as giraffe pussy. So if I want to go see it, I got to pay those prices. When there was a house show, I sat front row at a house show on their holiday tour. What was this? 2018, 2019? I think it was about 2018 because Becky Lynch wasn't the man yet. Those tickets were $65 to sit front row. John Cena was there, Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Miz and Dolph Ziggler had a cage match. Randy Orton and the Wyatt. This is back when Randy Orton was with the Wyatts. They had a thing. New Day was there. The Usos were there. Like, $65. I sat front row at a house show. And you know what you get at a house show that you don't get at a TV taping? Unless you one of the little kids sitting next to Jay Uso. Fan interaction. You're just a prop at TV. At a house show, they're interactive. It's more fun. TKO said, nah, we don't need fun. You know what we need? We need to take the house shows away, make them start missing us, and then we can jack these fucking ticket prices up. Make it hard to get into. Bam, boom, pow. We got all their money.
But
fan experience, ticket prices, house shows, and releasing talent that is mid to low card that would kill it on house shows. All these things are things that wrestling is built on. And TKO's going away from it. And I just feel like if they keep going down this road, 2-3 years, they might be looking to sell this shit pennies on the dollar.
The irony, Tony Khan shows up on Raw.
No, you can't be Tony Khan. It's got to be Shad Khan.
Yeah.
He's got to walk out while Tony's still on AEW. Oh my god,
Yeah.
that would be phenomenal.
But yeah, in all seriousness, it's a lot of things that you pointed out. But as far as the house show aspect of it, even when Vince was owning it, weren't they trying to like phase those out some just because like COVID kind of changed the philosophy with house shows?
They weren't doing as many, but like, besides when they go overseas, do they even do house shows anymore in WWE?
They'll do. I know they did like a live event at maybe MSG, and
Right.
they've cutting down on them significantly.
Because you used to see, like, you'd get on social media over the weekend and you'll see, like, the shit that went on at house shows. Like, people will be put. I can't remember the last time I saw a viral house show video. Besides when they were overseas and, like, I think Punk and Jay did something with Gunther and somebody else. But they were overseas before WrestleMania. So they were doing house shows over there. I can't remember the last time I've even heard about house shows. House shows used to be like, they were so important back in the day when I was younger that they would do reports in the wrestling magazines from house shows. They tell you who won, even though it doesn't really count because it's a fucking house show, you know? You might have a world title change hands like 3 nights in a row and you never know about it because it's a house show. But the people at in that city would know about it, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just, like I said, I can't remember the last time I saw a house show viral video of something that took place, like somebody singing to the crowd, or like, and that's all the shit you wouldn't get on TV is what you would get at the house shows. The Rock and Stone Cold, they used to try shit on house shows. You remember them singing to each other, like on Raw?
Yeah.
They did that shit like 10, 15 cities in a row before they got it and brought it to Raw. They would practice that kind of shit on the road.
And like you said, the essence of pro wrestling is kind of built on house shows. So, and that's where people get their reps as well. So I get it that, you know, less wear and tear on the wrestlers, happier on their end, but you kind of still need to keep that aspect of it intact. And as far as like the prices, you were talking about you got a ticket for $65 at a house show. I wonder what the house show prices are looking nowadays, even though they don't really do them anymore.
It'd be hard to find. I'd have to find the house show and then go look it up. But I'd need to know, like, actually, you know what I could do? While you're talking, I could go to WWE.com now. And
Yeah, the shows.
their events.
So, I mean, this is where corporate greed might be the downfall of you, because even though you're doing well, the shareholders want to see you do even better next year and keep getting more money and more money. Like, when does this stop? Like, how much money is enough? And it's nasty work. Like, it works in other industries, but I think, like you said, at the end of the day, it's going to ruin wrestling. And as far as, like, the releases go, a lot of these corporate, like, figureheads that in the background that don't really do with the creative side, like, how do they know which people to cut? They just see a name and a number by it, but they don't know, like, the actual, you know, impact that this person has with the fans and whatnot.
Triple H.
What's that? Triple H. You call
Triple H.
So you're saying it is Triple H that's telling them? I thought it would be like they see a name, they see a figure that they're getting paid. They probably do consult it with Triple H. Like, should we keep this guy or should we cut this guy or renew it? And
who else would? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, who else would know? You know, he's the head of creative. Can you do without this guy? Yeah, we're good. All right, we want, this dude Roman Reigns making a shitload of money. We ain't seen him on TV since Russell. Nah, you can't cut him. I got plans for him. What about this guy R-Truth that's on TV all the time? Yeah, fuck him. He's good. Don't worry about it. We don't have to renew his contract. What about this little barefoot Viking girl? Yeah, nobody likes her. She got dirty feet.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems a little tone deaf to get rid of a guy like Truth who's just on Saturday Night Main Event. I know he's probably got a bigger contract since he's been there so long, but I feel like there's like 3 other people that would have equaled his contract if you could have renewed him and you could have got rid of him. I don't want to call anybody one out by name because I don't want anybody dirty, but it's some other people even that we don't even see. Some people that are very huge in height. I'll give y'all a hint on that like not getting used, and people wouldn't have been probably that mad to see them get released. But I don't know, man.
You talking about Raquel Rodriguez?
Nah, let's talk about a male.
Fucking tag champion.
Let's talk about a male.
Oh, you talking about Omos?
You said it, I didn't.
You said he was tall. What are you trying to get rid of Omos for?
I'm just saying, like it's a lot of people whose contract probably could have equaled Truth and that aren't being used at all. Or you could have quietly not renewed them or released them, but I don't know. It's nasty, man.
So, upcoming events for WWE. June 6th through August. There ain't one house show on here. SmackDown, Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia, Raw in Pittsburgh. Oh, damn, there's no SmackDown in between June 3rd. Oh, because 4th of July is on a Friday this year.
Oh, they're probably going to tape 2 of them on the prior week.
No, there's no SmackDown at all on 4th of July.
That's what I'm saying. If you don't think they're going to do a double show the week prior? That's what they usually do.
The week prior, they're in Saudi Arabia. So
They might film 2. That's because I went to a show 2 or 3 years ago where it was St. Louis, and they filmed. They were traveling, so they filmed 2 that same night.
Yeah, it's just Raw, SmackDown, SummerSlam. Like there's no house show scheduled.
Not even July or August.
I'm on August 29th. There's not one house show.
Man, so they really have gotten rid of it. That's crazy.
They got this shit out of here.
And we know
Saturday night's main event and Evolution in Atlanta. Let's check out ticket prices for this real quick, just for research purposes. The cheapest ticket you can get right now is $165, and it is behind the stage at the top level. So you'd have to look over the stage. Now, we don't know what the setup's going to be. And that $165 gets you the same seat for both nights. It's a combination ticket. They're not selling single event tickets yet. And they haven't even put the NXT tickets on sale yet, that's what's going to be going up against All In.
I mean, it's sad for us fans, like especially if you have kids and you just want to take them out to the show, pay $60 or so to see a house show. We know AEW in the existence of their whole company, they've probably done like 2 house shows that got promoted heavily. But maybe the era of house shows is just over with. They probably did somebody in the front probably crunched the numbers. They're like, with the trucks we got to move and the ring set up and the people we have to pay and the ticket versus the ticket prices, it's not even worth it to do these house shows. But it still sucks. It still sucks that the average fan living in middle America can't see wrestling live anymore.
I think the difference with AEW though is they let their people go out and work other shows. So you could go to an indie show in your town and, you ain't gonna see Omega there. Like, there's certain guys that are just top tier.
John Moxley still works those shows, though.
Yeah. I mean, I say you're not gonna see Omega there, and I literally saw Omega at an indie show here in Canton. Um, Jericho showed up, Omega showed up, Cody was there. This is right before AEW though. But you know, there's certain people you won't see, but hey, you like fucking you like Ricochet? Hell, ain't no telling where you might find him at. He might be somewhere in Paducah. He might be in damn Lower Alabama, wrestling the best that the local talent has to offer there. You like Queen Aminata? You might see her somewhere. You know, but just to do away with house shows altogether. I mean, the indie shows are basically glorified house shows now.
Yeah.
You just instead of going to see a company now, you just got to wait until your favorite wrestlers come to your town. But honestly, that would be the best way to see them, I think, in my opinion. And you know, as much as WWE sucking the fun out of WWE wrestling, I think this is an opportunity for AEW, and I think this is an opportunity for local independents to. People want to see wrestling right now, and if they can't afford WWE, well then shit, we'll just wait on AEW to get here, or we'll go to the fucking American Legion this weekend, and we'll get a signature from Sergeant Slaughter, and we'll watch all the new up and coming wrestlers wrestle, and it'll be fan interactive. We'll be right there in the action. Yeah, it's not Jey Uso, but it's still pro wrestling, and so I think AEW and these indie promotions have a really good opportunity, especially I think in the next like 6 months when people start becoming disenfranchised with WWE. I think it'll be a good time for them to put their best foot forward, man, and maybe gain some new fans.
Definitely an opportunity to capitalize on it. I was looking at all-in tickets and real good seats for less than $200, like close up. So, you know, they're doing what they need to do so far as prices go. And like you said, if this keeps carrying on the next 6 months, next year, people might start to migrate where they can actually take their family out and not have to worry about paying your bills the same month. So,
right.
And like you said, AEW also lets their wrestler do the indie show, so you could go see somebody you see on weekly television at your GCW shows, or what's another MLW or whatever your local company is.
I'm looking at tickets for AEW. You can sit. All In is their version of WrestleMania. You can basically sit. This would be what behind home plate in the 200 section of a baseball stadium for $53 before fees.
See?
At their biggest show.
Yeah, and that's how. Soon, what it was like 2022. You went to WrestleMania and the tickets were reasonable. That was only 3 years ago.
They were more than reasonable. They were really good tickets.
So
I paid less than what we paid to sit where we were, and I mean, I think we were a tad bit closer than what I was then, but still, like those tickets were a lot less. Yeah, man, All In's got a lot of tickets available, but I think they'll sell most of these because I mean we're looking at the 100 section, $200 to sit right there, and the ring will be like in the outfield, and you're sitting on the first baseline or the third baseline, like in the front.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all, man. I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah, me too. Once they get close to the show, a lot of people don't buy till like a month out, 2 weeks out. So it'll look nice once it gets closer to the event. But yeah, man.
That's why
Go ahead.
WWE hadn't released tickets for NXT yet. I mean, that's a month away, and they haven't even put the tickets on sale. But Center Stage only holds like 500 fans, so
yeah. I'm curious to see what they sell for though. Since it's limited seating, they'll jack the prices up.
I went to NXT a couple months ago. I can't remember how much. I don't think it was that bad. I went to what did we do? We went to Raw Tuesday, and then we went to NXT Wednesday, And I want to think that Saturday Collision was in like Athens. It was like a week straight of me going to watch wrestling.
You could probably burn out after all of that.
Yeah, it was rough. It was fun, but it was rough. Like to see 3 different brands like that. Like Raw was more of a TV production, and those are the worst seats that I had the whole weekend. And then NXT was a lot of fun. And then Collision at UGA, we pre-gamed and post-gamed and ended up watching some shoe models at a place. I'm not going to use any names, all right, but I have to tell this story. We went to Collision, and I have a homeboy that lives up by Athens. I met him probably 20-something years ago when I was out of high school. We were working at the same job. He was up here to be a massage therapist. He lives out close to Athens. We've hung out probably 5 times in the past 10 years. Keep in touch, though. Real good, friend. So I was telling him, yeah, I'm going to come up there and watch wrestling. He's like, all right. And I completely forgot because it was snowing that weekend. Like, we didn't think we were going to go. So I hit him up at the very last minute, EJ. He said, let me know when you get out of the wrestling show. So we hit him up. We're at a bar, and he looks at me and my buddy. He says, y'all ready to go to the strip club? And I was like, I'm trying to make excuses, right? Because, I've been up all day. I'm drunk. We've been drinking. I'm like, man, ain't nobody trying to go to no... He said, I don't even want to hear that shit. I got money for you, and I got money for him. Man. Last thing you want to do is go to a strip club with somebody that's just, spending money like crazy. We walked in. There was nowhere to sit. He said, I'll be right back. He comes back, and there's a girl with sparklers on her nipples carrying a fucking tray with sparklers and a bottle of Jack Daniels. He said, come on, follow her. And we're walking to the fucking VIP section. I'd never done that before. But we drank that whole bottle of whiskey in 2.5 hours.
Damn. How big was the bottle?
It was a regular sized bottle of whiskey. But again, we had already been pre-gaming and drinking through wrestling because 1, we didn't think he was going to come out, and 2, we definitely didn't think we were going to get a whole bottle of fucking whiskey, but challenge accepted. That was a long drive home the next day. I had the worst hangover.
Hey, that's when you pop some ibuprofen and drink some water and go right down the road. But yeah, that's insane. How many people was that whole bottle?
It was just 3 of us.
Oh man, so, yeah. I'm definitely feeling it. Man,
I woke up.
Go ahead.
Me and my buddy had split a room. 2 beds. There's a couch over there, and we got back. I remember buying apparently I get drunk and buy Doritos on my way back to my room every time I'm out somewhere. I woke up the next day and there was a Doritos bag over there, and my other buddy, he had left. He was just walking out as I woke up. I'm like, damn, what time this motherfucker get up? He's like, I gotta get back home. He was hungover. My buddy didn't want to stay. I was like, well, you need to call a fucking Uber or something. You don't need to be driving. He's like, I'm gonna call an Uber. Leave me alone. I'm like, we got a couch in the room, man. You can sleep here. He's like, nah, I want to go home. His old lady was texting him. Bring your motherfucking ass home. You said you was gonna be gone for 2 hours. And we took a picture inside the strip club next to the poster. And I put it on Facebook and immediately got a phone call. I just hit post. And all of a sudden, I got a call. You got to take that shit down. I said, oh, shit, my bad. I didn't know you weren't supposed to be there. He said, yeah, I wasn't supposed to be at no damn strip club. I said, all the money you spent? Anyway.
I'm guessing they don't share bank accounts.
Nah. But that was the last time I went and saw AEW. It was phenomenal.
And that's I hate spending money at the strip club. I never really been a strip club person. Throwing all this money away, can't even touch. I might as well be watching porn, and at least I can get a release there.
That's how my friend was. He was just the guy that was paying for everything. He's like, point out which one you want. I'm gonna go get that. And my buddy was like, nah, what's the point? They're gonna come over here and talking to me. It's stupid. I have fun with it, I don't give a fuck, whatever. But he was just like, ain't no point in even wasting my time. I'm like, really? You don't even want one to come sit on your lap and blow in your ear a little bit? Like what? Not like you're paying for it anyway.
Oh, if somebody gonna offer me a free lap dance, yeah, bring it on. It ain't my
Yeah,
money.
that's what I'm saying.
It ain't my money.
My buddy was like, "Who you want? I'm gonna go get him for you." And I'm just like, and he was still turning it down. Like shit, I'd been like, I'd have sat back like Randy Orton.
2004 Randy Orton. Back when he was diabolical.
I ain't like the way she danced. I'm gonna shit in her bag. Let's stick with the topic of WWE, and I want to talk about a very polarizing superstar for WWE, EJ. Charles McDaniel Punk. No, I do not know if that's his real name.
Yeah, I like that acronym, Charles McDaniel.
Now, if you know anything about me, and you've ever listened to Boot to the Face, you know I'm not a fan of this guy. I don't like him. Don't think he's that good. And his fans annoy me. Chant this motherfucker's name for 10 years like he was God or somebody. Like, he wasn't that good. But here's what I think. In the universe of WWE right now, there aren't many people as over as CM Punk. He's been back almost 2 years. He's had feuds with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Main event match at WrestleMania with Roman and Seth, but it was a triple threat match. When Punk came back, there was a list of, you couldn't wait. I can't wait to see him get in the ring with Roman, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Cena again, Gunther, like some of these new guys we got. And he's really only had 2 opponents. For the most part, I mean, he's wrestled other matches. He's been in a couple of Royal Rumbles. You know, I want to see him against Cody. Hadn't seen any of that. Is, in your opinion, the WWE wasting CM Punk? And I'm going to amend the question with this. We've talked about on here forever. You know, I don't like the word injury prone, but he fits the bill for it. And last time I checked, as time goes by, you get older, not younger. He's been here for almost 2 years. Now, he spent some of it on the shelf. Where are the matches with Cody? Where are the matches with Roman one-on-one? Where are the matches with Gunther?
I don't feel like they're wasting CM Punk. We got to take into account the injury time he had when he was out for 6-8 months when he first came back. So we got to take that into account. But they're boarded on the line where they're kind of spinning their wheels now post WrestleMania. Up until WrestleMania, I'd say no. But now, like, they have him circling around, like, doubling back with Seth. Now it's time. This is like the perfect opportunity to branch him out and do some of those matches that you were talking about, the Codys, the Gunthers, the AJ Styles. He was in a match with AJ Styles yesterday. They kind of wasted it on a triple threat match.
Same with Roman. He's already wrestled Seth 4 times, and now you put him in a triple threat match with Roman instead of putting him in a one-on-one match to begin with.
But I didn't mind that because they kind of interwove the stories with Paul Heyman and all of that. But I get what you're saying. Like, they could have saved that for a one-on-one match and made it even bigger. But yeah, go ahead.
Here's how I feel we could judge this. If you're listening at home, if you're driving, don't listen to it. Don't do this. But if you're listening at home, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine CM Punk since he came back from WWE. And I guarantee you 95% of the people that just did that see him in street clothes. Because all he does is come out and talk.
And I think that's by design. That was probably in his contract. That's probably why he's not bitching anymore. Come back, I'm not wrestling anymore. Even though he shitted on The Rock for doing that 10, 15 years ago. The hypocrisy, right? But, you know, like you said, we hate to throw injury prone around, but the guy gets hurt. He's older, so we knew we probably going to see him wrestle that often. So like you said, it's mostly cutting promos. You know, it's kind of like smoke and mirrors. The fans get to see him, but when you really think about it, like, yeah, he doesn't really wrestle all that often. But I mean, people love the trilogy of matches he had with Drew McIntyre. So you don't think that kind of held people over until I guess this year, main event in WrestleMania.
That was a year ago, though.
The Hell in a Cell was last match October-ish. Yeah, it's coming up on a year. It started I can't remember which pay per view it started at.
Started after Mania, Backlash, shit like that. Then he wrestled Seth. All right, so he had 3 with Drew, 3 with Seth, 1 with Roman, the one last night, and 2 Royal Rumbles. Or was it 1 Royal Rumble? I can't even remember. No, it's 2 Royal Rumbles. He was in 2 of them.
Yeah. So.
And then he did War Games.
So
that's 10 matches that I can remember off the top of my head.
So I kind of agree with you. They could, especially post WrestleMania, they could ramp up the matchmaking. But I don't need to see him wrestle every week on Raw. Yeah, make him like a special, attraction and whatnot. But you got to ramp up some of these pay-per-view matches. Like, what we doing? We having him in a tag? No, he's not even in the tag team match at Money in the Bank. He's not even on the cards for what we know. Like, you got to start ramping that up with his pay-per-view matches.
I'm still pissed off about Money in the Bank. I like Solo, but Solo, Penta, Andrade, and Grande Americano, and LA Knight. Come on. What do we do? Sorry. We'll talk about that. God damn, that just pisses me off. But yeah, I just feel like they could have done so much more with Punk in 2 years, injury or not. I look at it like, if you know he's injury prone, you want to get this shit out the way then. You ain't got time to be long-term storytelling with Punk. He could get hurt on his way to the airport tomorrow.
So you would like to see more so of the AEW formula, because he had a bunch of good feuds, but a lot of them were like one-offs, and then he moved on to the next feud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's get this shit going. What are we waiting on?
All right, well.
He's been beefing with Rollins since he got back.
Well, got to give the devil his due with Tony Khan's booking as far as Punk, because he was like wrestling on fucking Collision. He was going, this motherfucker was going every week.
Tony Khan working the shit out of him. So you've been off for 10 years.
But yeah, I mean, it's got to be like a happy medium where we start seeing him ramp up some. But I don't know. Like I would say, like, wait to see how it plays out. But like you said, he's 46. Like, the clock is ticking.
Right, you ain't got a lot of time because clearly they start cutting people when they get older.
See how it all ties together.
But I mean, does he not think he can wrestle anymore? As somebody that's never been a fan of him, physically he looks better than I've ever seen him look before.
Yeah, looks could be deceiving. His insides are probably screaming right now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Go ahead.
We've come a long way in this podcast where I'm on here like caping for CM Punk to wrestle more and have big storylines. 10 years ago, I'd been like, get this motherfucker off my TV. But I mean, like, I don't know. It just hit me yesterday. He's in the ring with Sami Zayn, and I'm just like, and then he doesn't win to get to Money in the Bank. So now it's like, so he's just gonna do a run in at Money in the Bank? Like, that's what we're using him for?
And the tie together, like the whole TKO, UFC, WWE, because this is a problem in UFC. I've kind of noticed, like, on a week-to-week basis with WWE recently, like, lack of, like, star power. Of course, we have our favorites within the company, but you don't see John Cena on a weekly basis. Like, who's that huge star week-to-week? And no disrespect to Jey Uso, he's super over still. But like Roman not being there is kind of noticeable now. I don't think Cody's at that level right now, so it's kind of what I've noticed. And it kind of throwing the same thing out on Raw as far as Seth's group and Bronson, but like it's still like nobody on the level of like a Roman, like just has that aura right now.
Yeah, there are no more major megastars. Like Roman would be that guy, and in the women's division, I think you got Becky, you got Rhea, you got Bianca, you got. I think they're all like on the same plateau. There's nobody head and shoulders above, and none of them are nowhere near where Becky was in like 2019, where
Yeah.
the biggest star in wrestling was a woman, like which has never happened before. But they're a long way away from that, which is crazy though, because I think women's wrestling is fucking taking on. Honestly, I think if we give it like 6-9 months, maybe Stephanie Vaquero will be that person.
We'll see. There's still a lot of xenophobia in the country, so you have those people that want her to speak perfect English, or I ain't fucking with it. Those type of people. But
It ain't gonna matter when they see what when they see that wrestling outfit she wrestles in, that shit going right out the window.
yeah, but the opportunity is there for somebody to kick the door down and grab the brass ring, as somebody would like to say. We'll have to see how it plays out.
She needs to learn perfect. The funny thing about those people is they don't even speak perfect English.
Exactly. Speaking their backwoods type of mumble
Missing
jumble,
teeth.
all of that good stuff. But yeah, so yeah,
They want to build the wall, but they love Mexican food. It makes sense. Like, it makes no fucking sense.
a lot of things ain't making sense right now, but America, right?
Water, by the way. I used to get drunk on this show. And I'm drinking fucking water. What's happened to me? I'm cheering for CM Punk. I'm drinking water instead of whiskey. I promise I haven't been fucking taken over by aliens. Like, this actually is me.
Sure about it. You haven't been replaced with AI.
It's the AI Rucker.
Yeah.
He likes CM Punk and water instead of Roman Reigns and whiskey.
The irony.
Well, man, let's get to these predictions we got. We got 2 shows coming up this week. I mean, I don't know who half these people are on this AAA show, but
Worlds collide.
real quick, we used to complain whenever Tony Khan would force ROH people onto Dynamite. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm really not a fan of fucking them speeding through all these AAA people and having them in there like, I don't know these motherfuckers. Like, I'm here to watch Jey Uso. I'm here to watch Rhea and Liv Morgan and CM Punk and all these people. I don't really give a fuck about the people in AAA.
I mean, they're trying to integrate the new acquisition and get them familiar with the crowds. But
If I wanted to watch AAA, I would watch AAA.
well,
The same way if I wanted to watch ROH, I would watch ROH. When I tune in to Monday Night Raw, I want to see Monday Night Raw. Now, I will give them credit. They did 2 really good video packages last night. The one with Stephanie and the one with Jay and Gunther.
yeah, I agree.
But get that AAA shit out of here. Anyway, let's predict Worlds Collide.
I have it up in front of me. I don't know the order of these matches, but I'll just do them in the order that they have them. Because who knows? Because I don't. Is there a AAA title on the line? So yeah, I'll do that one last since there is a AAA title on the line. 6-man tag team match. You got the LWO, Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, Joaquin Wild versus Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. I don't know. I'm not familiar with any of those 3, but they have fun names.
Dude, Mr. Iguana looks like a vibe.
For real? I hadn't seen him.
Yeah. I'm looking at him now.
Does he look like an iguana?
He comes out with an iguana. This fucking guy. He's like Jake the Snake Roberts, only he's Mr. Iguana.
He looks like Jim Carrey with the mask.
You got another motherfucker named Octagon? Yeah. They about to fuck the LWO up.
So you got them over the LWO?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they got to establish some of those AAA guys. So let me take those guys as well. Four-way match for the NXT North American Championship. All Eagle, your guy. Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix.
I like Laredo Kid. I do know him.
That should be a fun flippy dippy match. But then Ethan with the ground and pound. He's the only one that doesn't do that stuff. But that's who I'm taking though.
I'm gonna take Javon.
I was thinking about that. It's a perfect opportunity for All Eagle just to be a transition to give Javon Evans and have people to tune in. But yeah, I'll stick with Ethan Page, even though that's a good pick. Your new AAA Mega Champion El Hijo del Vikingo versus Chad Gable, first the double duty. What's his name? Alberto El Patron. He thought he was gonna slide on in and like, sorry, dog. We got to get this pedal off.
A couple matches.
Oh, I'm skipping around. I was saving those for last, but I was gonna save this AAA championship for last. That's my bad. But I don't know. The name popped up off the screen. But Alberto Del Rio, he thought he was gonna slip in the company, right?
Yeah, I don't know why he thought that. They took the belt off of him and got his ass up out of there.
So did they officially fire him?
That I don't know, but I know he ain't gonna be on this show.
He better go to the CML, even though they got a partnership with AEW. He just might be shot of luck. Because they got a partnership with AEW, CML. So he might have to go to Russia somewhere and wrestle. Because even New Japan has a partnership with AEW. So, damn, he might be out of his job. But I got...
You can go to NWA.
That's true.
I know they got a partnership with WWE too, don't they?
It's loose. They let Natty wrestle in the cup, Crockett Cup, but I don't think they're...
Yeah, but Natty was cool with Saraya, so she ain't gonna want that motherfucker in the locker room with her.
Yeah, he might be shut of luck, but I got Vikingo beating Gable.
This is gonna be Triple H's fucking MAGA party because Gable's gonna win.
Oh, so you got him in AAA. I'd be with you if he was El Americano, but I think Vikingo's gonna retain. But I wouldn't put it
That's
past.
how they're gonna give it away. Everybody's gonna realize that he's Grande Americano when he wears the title out there by accident with the mask on.
I can see him doing something like that. 6-man tag team match, another one. You got Legado del Fantasma, Santos, Angel Berto versus El Hijo de Doctor. Huh. So interesting name. Wagner Jr. That's a long name.
That's a long fucking name.
Pagano and
next motherfucker just
Clown.
Pagano.
Yeah.
We ain't have no more letters left for the rest of y'all. He took all of them.
And the Psycho Clown.
Yeah. I got Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, give me LDF.
They need to bring back my girl.
Who's that? Oh, Elektra Lopez?
Yeah, Elektra Lopez. They missing out without her.
I mean, she wasn't good, though.
She was a good manager.
Was she, though?
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was good.
Okay. If you say so, I'm with it.
She's a multiple candidate for Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, I can promise you.
That doesn't mean she's good. Just because she looks good.
She's doing her part.
Hey.
Distraction.
If you like it, I love it. Bring her back then. Last but not least, tag team match. Stephanie Vaquer and Lola Vice versus Chick Tormenta and Dallas.
What in the world? Who put these two together? Oh my god. They have a team name?
No. You could work on that.
I already named Anna J and Harley Cameron.
I can't remember what you named them.
I gave them like 3 or 4 names. I call them the Wrath of Ass, or Ass of Wrath, one of them, and then Feel the Ass. That was one.
Shout out to Harley Cameron. Feel the wrath.
Yeah, Feel the Ass, because Anna J's got the big fat ass. She says.
Hey.
See, you put them together. It's Feel the Ass. But I think Wrath of Ass is the best one.
Wrath of Ass. It rhymes. It's
Hey, put on a t-shirt. You got a team called Thunder Tits selling t-shirts. Put Wrath of Ass on a t-shirt.
Have they officially sell those shirts though? Thunder Tits.
I don't know, EJ. I'm sure. We could throw them up in our store.
Get
Why not?
cease and desist real quick.
That's fine.
So that does it. Oh, we didn't pick the team. I got Steph and Lola.
Yeah, me too.
So that wraps it up
Lola's
for
a
Words
good name.
Collide. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't prevent myself from calling her Valerie Laredo at first, but finally Lola Vice probably stuck. So yeah, sometimes they get it right with these name changes. I don't know about the JC Mateo. That has to still, I gotta get used to that. But
It's not the worst. He still puts JC on his tights.
yeah, I think that was a money saving thing. Oh, we just put that as your initials and slap a name on that, and get to keep your intellectual property. But yeah,
JC.
this is going on early on same day, Saturday, right? Is Money in the Bank in this, right?
7 p.m.
Will you be watching this one live?
Money in the Bank. I'm going to play golf
Oh,
Saturday, but
so you won't
then
be.
we're going to. I'll probably watch it live.
So you won't be watching Worlds Collide live though, since you'll be
Nah.
Yeah, that brings us to Money in the Bank. Both of these shows are going down in LA. One at the Forum, Worlds Collide, and this one in the Intuit Dome, the new shiny arena where the Clippers play. Right now, it's only a 4-match card. I don't know if they're going to add something on during SmackDown, but maybe not because of the Money in the Bank. Go ahead.
I'm just laughing like ticket prices are crazy high and they put 4 fucking matches out there. And then the star power in the men's Money in the Bank is absolutely shit. Like, it's just, this shit is criminal. It really is. Oh boy.
And those assholes in LA are going to pay for it. You got heirs to companies that live in LA and celebrities and bigwigs. They just want to do it for a photo op, even though they don't know what's going on with the storylines, just so they could be in the front row. It's going to be eye rolling, but hey, it's the TKO era, baby. I'm sure this will probably be the
cheapest ticket to get into Money in the Bank is $243 to sit at the top before taxes.
What's the lower level seat looking like?
$420. $390 is the cheapest bowl. They got these weird. They're not numbered like 100 section 200. It's like C W T W. Like, I don't know what any of this shit means, but they had to be different, I guess. You can sit on the floor for $1,413.
And like, I can see if salaries in the country are overall going up, and you can justify it, but salaries aren't going up, so how could they justify this? It just gets me mad thinking about it, but let's get
This
it.
is wild. Like, looking at the prices of these, and then these motherfuckers got 4 matches, and you're charging $400 to come in there? Get
100 per match.
the nerve of these motherfuckers to be like, yeah. And on top of us only giving you 4 matches, we're not even gonna put our biggest stars on the show.
I'm gonna get a gall of them. to do something like this.
Sorry, let's predict this shit. Men's Money in the Bank.
Oh, so you
We got LA Knight versus Andrade versus Penta versus Solo Sikoa versus Grande Americano versus Seth Rollins.
who you got?
You know, in golf, it used to be a term when Tiger Woods was running roughshod. You could bet Tiger or you could bet the field. I feel like that's how Seth Rollins is in this. Smart money would probably be on Seth Rollins. But I'm going to go the field, but I can't decide if I want to pick Penta or Grande Americano.
I definitely don't see Penta winning it. He's going to be in there for the fun spots. The people that they picked in this kind of pisses me off because if they go the cute route, you could go Seth, which will be why, because he had his moment with Money in the Bank. This is for most people to have their first title run and to, kind of launch them into the world title scene. But we've seen people that have won it before get the briefcase. Brock had it. It was making it a boombox or whatnot. Even last year with Drew winning it, even though he fumbled it right away. It's just be so eye rolling. It's different ways to get set there, so I'm not picking him, even though, like you said, he's got the probably highest percentage of winning it. If they could go the cute story route way, and I could see them going that with either El Grande Americano or Solo Sikoa, but I don't know. I'm not feeling that, so. I'll probably be wrong with picking this, but I think it's now or never for LA Knight LA Knight to win this. If he doesn't win it this year, then it's no hope. Like they see a ceiling for him that he's never gonna break through, even though he's still over with the fans. So this will be my last year picking him, but it's now or never for LA Knight. So that's who I got.
I feel like LA Knight's the only face in this too. Well, Penta's a face, but LA Knight would probably challenge Cena. Next week I want to fight you
and lose. That'd be the dumbest thing.
And then he'll lose. Because if they give it to Solo, it would make no sense for Solo not to have fucking Jacob and JC jump John Cena and take the belt. Seth is clearly going to do that with his squad if they do it. That's why I'm like, Triple H is on record saying he never really liked Money in the Bank. And somebody did a deep dive and said he never was in a Money in the Bank match.
And he never won it, yeah.
And he never got cashed in on.
That sounds like politics then, if all of that.
Triple H? Get the fuck out of here. Triple H politicking? Stop that. Don't do that.
Yeah. That's an interesting fun fact you bring up. But, yeah.
I'm going to go with Grande Americano, and I think he'll try to cash in on Jay and lose rather quickly. And Seth won't win because Punk and Sami Zayn are going to cost him the match.
I definitely think that's probably going to happen because CM Punk isn't in the match and Seth just cost them on Monday. So I can see that coming back around. But if Seth does win it, that's the only person I could see cashing anytime soon. I think any other winner might not cash in until after WrestleMania. I can see that.
I could see Seth winning and cashing in Monday after Jay beats Gunther and about to win the belt, and Roman comes back and stops him.
I don't know when that could happen, but why not CM Punk stopping him?
Yeah, it makes more sense with Roman.
Okay. But yeah.
It's about time for the big dog to come back anyway.
He usually comes back around SummerSlam season, but maybe they ramp it up a little bit earlier.
The women's Money in the Bank. We have Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vakir.
I think it's just too easy. Rhea hasn't won it yet, but that's just too easy of a pick. I think they may run with some of the new blood Um, I say give me Stephanie McCurr just to mix things up.
Really? I was thinking you were gonna pick Roxanne.
Nah, I mean you could make a storyline with that. Liv being jealous of her winning, so there is a storyline element to that. But
I think it's got to be Naomi.
ah, man, I didn't even see Naomi. I'm looking at it, and Naomi's name just missed me. Yeah, give me Naomi too.
If I had to rank who I think would win, it would go Naomi 1, Roxanne 2, Stephanie 3, Julia 4, Rhea 5, and Alexa Bliss last.
Yeah, I see a storyline and Naomi cashing in on Tiffany. I see that being a big storyline coming out of it, but for some reason I still wouldn't be shocked. For some reason, they put it on Rhea, but her character though doesn't seem like it's within her to cash in on somebody unless like she called a shot. They haven't done that in a while. I think Braun was the last person like the call a shot.
Dumbass babyface.
I know, he lost, I think, to Brock when he did that.
Exactly. Dumbass babyface. I want to fight him straight up. Bullshit. I'm gonna wait till the motherfucker trip and fall backstage, and we're gonna make this a falls count anywhere match. I'm gonna put a bulldozer down on top of him so I can pin him.
Yeah, but yeah, so yeah, I got Naomi too.
Women's Intercontinental Championship match: Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Half of the pay-per-view matches at one of the biggest pay-per-views for WWE are women's matches, and it took the man to do that. Imagine.
Yep. Hey, it's the man for you, right?
The man right here. She need to change her music. Everybody talks about Seth. I think Becky needs new music.
Oh, hey, yeah, she got.
People still love that. Like I can't not like Becky Lynch. Like, it's, it's too much time invested in this. I'm one of those people that just can't do away with stuff, right? Like, I was married for 15 years. I've been a Cowboys fan for 40 years. Fucking Knicks. Been watching pro wrestling all this time. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just turn my back on stuff. I'm gonna turn my back on Becky Lynch.
Definitely
Out of here.
Definitely a dedicated fan, especially with the Cowboys. Cowboys. Hey, it be like that sometimes, but
is Lyra going 3-0 versus Becky?
I mean, I picked Becky last time and she didn't get it done. And then, I'm not the biggest Lyra fan, but she was cutting a decent promo and the fans were hijacking it with what chance? Like, what are y'all doing? And
I feel like it's a lose-lose situation for Lyra, right? Like, if you put her up against other people, they're not going to care as much. And then the what chance really will be real. You put her against Becky, and Becky's doing her best to get Lyra cheered, which is working. But people still like Becky. So if the disrespect's going to go to anybody, they're going to put it towards Lyra. So I think Lyra's just in a no-win situation with this feud. Like, she's getting reps with one of the best to ever do it, and she's in a high-profile feud. But as far as, like, the fans getting on her side or cheering for her, like, I just think it's a lose-lose situation for
her. Yeah, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, but I got Becky getting it done and finally getting the IC title.
I got Becky also. What is she? She'll be a Triple Crown or a Grand Slam champion?
I don't know, because they still hadn't laid out the criteria now that these new mid-card belts have got introduced. But it definitely...
Becky's never won Money in the Bank. I'm surprised that they didn't put her in this one.
You see a Discord message?
Hold on. Huh. That's weird.
There we go. You back.
Was it all for a while?
Like a minute or two.
Okay. I must have clicked something while I was scrolling through. All good. Main event time. John Cena and Logan Paul take on the returning American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and the World Heavyweight Champion main event Jey Uso.
This is such like a throwaway match, bringing back Cody so quickly, pairing him up with Jey, even though they are former tag team champions. I get what they're doing with John Cena and Logan Paul, trying to get that heat on John Cena because just like I expected, you got the crowd still split because they kept the music the same, even though they were like trying to be smart. I'm keeping the same thing. I bet you he wouldn't get mixed reactions if he came out with just no music. Do old school, but it's a conversation for a different day. I mean, I'm sure once the match gets started, it'll be fun, but like, what are the stakes with this, really? This is the storyline company, but give me Cody and Jey. I think Logan takes the pin.
Yeah, I was just looking. They have the picture up, and I was like, well, Cena ain't taking the pin. Jey ain't taking the pin. Cody damn sure ain't taking the pin. Sorry, Logan. 2 Saturdays in a row, you're going to be looking up at the lights, my brother.
Yeah, it's going to be shenanigans, too, so it'll still make Logan look good, even when he's taking the pin.
We've run long again, EJ. We're going to have to skip power rankings, and we can do street clothes every week, though. I got a good one.
Street clothes rest of the week.
I got a good one this week.
Who's your street clothes rest of the week?
He's a bit of a visionary. He's a bit of an architect. I don't know all his other sayings, but Seth freaking Rollins. My boy was looking cold as ice. Got the new little logo on his necklace. Had some leather pants on. You got to be a bad motherfucker to wear some leather pants. You got to know how to fight wear leather pants as a grown man. Because chances are you're probably going to have to.
But Eddie Murphy in Raw. Was that Raw? He had the leather pants on.
He had leather pants on Raw and Delirious. One was red, one was purple.
That's what Seth should do next. Pay homage to that. Didn't he have like a long trench coat on or something crazy too?
Yeah, he took that off though. When it was time to kick ass, he got rid of that shit. Boy, out there stomping everybody.
Was it this week or last week? Becky was like, "I got a hot ass husband."
She said that last week.
Oh yeah, it was last week.
She's like, "Yeah, you beat me, but then I went home to my hot ass husband." Sat in the back like, yeah, she did.
Those two, they be getting into some wild stuff behind the curtain, but all of that CrossFit nonsense. But I guess my street clothes rest of the week, I'll take Becky. I'll take that. We'll have a couple street clothes rest of the week.
Power couple.
Yeah, she came out on Raw. Lyra called her out, and she's like, "You're the one that called me out."
Becky's funny, man. It's like, how can you not like her? She's hilarious.
It's true though. It was like, but yeah. Hopefully she'll be adding
she's
some
like,
gold.
She's like, you beat me with a roll up. It wasn't very convincing. You did win, but we all know it was luck. Damn, Becky, leave the girl alone. The Ice Intercontinental Champion.
Of course, Becky elevates everyone, but it's up to Lyra to maintain it once she's done with Becky. Becky can only do but so much. You gotta maintain it after you're done, but it's definitely elevating Lyra's promo game for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Lyra's coming a long way, but like I said, it's just people want to cheer Becky. But I don't think anybody else could do for Lyra what Becky's doing for her. So it's a win-win, lose-lose, if that makes sense. Like, you're getting the reps with one of the best. I just said that, but you're just gonna have to eat some shit though. Like the crowd's gonna hate on you regardless of how good you do. Shows like this will say you're doing good, but the live audience, they ain't trying to hear that shit. You fucking going up against Becky Lynch.
Yeah, the man. I mean, I wonder what they could do with Becky at this point just make her like a dastardly heel. Because every time she goes heel, the fans want to cheer her.
I think Becky's just like in that sweet spot now where she'll probably never win the world title again. She's just there to like work with the younger women.
Yeah, because I was going to say, sometimes people just want to add one that they haven't had yet. She did have that world title last year when Rhea got hurt. I guess she still hasn't had Tiffany's belt, but like you said, it might not want to.
The SmackDown or the Raw title, it's the same thing. She's had both of those.
But yeah, maybe she just wants to tell stories at this point.
Yeah, she's been a tag champion. Now she's about to be the IC champion. She was the NXT champion. Honestly, the only thing she hadn't done is win the fucking Money in the Bank match.
Or the US belt.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that just they just got that.
Yeah, I wonder. I feel like her or Charlotte are gonna still want those two mid card. I wonder who gets them first.
I wouldn't be mad at Charlotte and Becky becoming a tag team.
Yeah, like the reluctant former friends that unite together. I mean, they can.
They did it briefly back in like 2019-ish when the Kabuki Warriors were beating the fuck out of both of them, and they both like met up in the trainer's room, sitting next to each other, and they just kind of looked at each other. Neither one of them said anything, and they were like, "Yeah, we got to do this shit together. These bitches whooping our ass." And then they ended up losing the fucking tag title match because Ronda came out. No, that was a different match, but it was a TLC match for the belts, and Charlotte gave Kyrie a concussion.
Damn.
And then like ragdolled her right after. So Asuka had to wrestle the rest of the match by herself and still fucking won.
Hey man, shout out to Asuka. I hope when she heals rack and gets right and comes back, because like you said, Asuka's kind of underrated as far as how she works.
Asuka's got a fucking legendary career too. Royal Rumble winner, Money in the Bank winner, multiple time champion. Asuka's fucking, she's up there.
Yeah, if she isn't able to come back, like you said, it's still a Hall of Fame career. So
big time. Anything you want to say to the people before we get out of here, EJ?
Shout out to the people as always, and like you always mention, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms: YouTube, Twitter, X, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff.
Especially on YouTube, because next week we will be coming back live on YouTube on Tuesday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll try not to keep you long in case you're an NXT fan and you want to go watch that, but we could be your pregame show, even though we won't be talking much about NXT beforehand, but we can still be your pregame wrestling show. Live on YouTube. Boot to the Face is the name of the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Discord. Everything's in the link tree. Thanks for listening, and until next week, for EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face.
Peace. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold with a tombstone, grab her the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem, everybody stone cold.